And top of the time zone, everybody. This is special guest referee Fretty here. And tonight, this is our first Monday Night Respawn live. We're here with our guest FROSTII over here.
How's it going?
How's it going? Welcome in.
I'm excited to be here, man. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, likewise. So again, forgive me, y'all. This is actually my first time doing this live, so I'm still trying to be a nervous, but we're here with our 2024 Respawn Recruits Invitational winner. I
was actually partner before Invitationals.
Ah, yes.
I was the last partner before Invitationals.
Gotcha. Was it really Invitationals?
Yeah, it was one of the 10 that were following Recruits 2023. So
gotcha.
the Recruits 2023 had 9 winners because I was disqualified, and then there were 10 following the competition, and that was the last one. That was the last partner of 2023, right on December 31st. So,
okay, that's cool. But do you want to talk about like what you did for your challenges and whatnot? Like what is probably one of the biggest things you thought? Well, first off, what was your normal content that you normally did
before I started Recruits?
Yes.
So before I did Recruits, I was fully exalted in Call of Duty. I did everything Call of Duty. I had multiple world records for camo chasing. I was doing a lot of ranked play, a lot of ranked content, a lot more streaming, not so much focused on video production, but I was very deep in the sniping community. All of my roots were there. I had no contacts outside of the sniping community. The only reason I found out about Recruits is because one of my buddies in the sniping community, I was drowning in the Call of Duty community. So, okay.
And my question is, I guess during the challenges, what were you doing for those?
Specific challenges, what kind of content I produced, or?
Yes.
Okay, so I started in Recruits 2023 by getting invited to a group chat with all of the other creators in it. And through there, I met a fellow podcaster, Schmoogly. I had my own podcast, The Brain Freeze, which is still going on now, but I didn't post it as consistently as Schmoog did with his podcast. So I got with him in the first 2 days of the competition, and we decided to do something that had never been done before called the Cushion Confessions, which was a Respawn Recruits specific podcast that invited each week's remaining recruits to talk about their experience throughout the challenge. That kind of reignited my love for podcasting and everything. But I think that's what it made myself and Schmoog stand out, for us to both last so long, Schmoog to eventually go on to partnership, of course, accompanying everything else that he's doing. But I think it definitely helped us stand out from the crowd. I was doing a lot of group content. I kind of completely dove away from Call of Duty, even though that was still kind of my biggest passion at that time. I still posted occasional Call of Duty videos, but I think what made me stand out more is that I was more willing to show my face than a lot of people. Definitely made sure that I was seen everywhere, and I did some group content with some really charismatic people that really elevated my content to the next level.
Gotcha. Well said. Shoot. I was that was already already solid. What do you think was probably the biggest difficulties for you?
The biggest difficulty for me was definitely overcoming. I don't want to offend a mass group of people when I say the Call of Duty community and wrap them all into one little tiny bow, but I think the Call of Duty community has a pretty well-known reputation for being extremely toxic. I was no stranger to that. I was trying to really step out of my comfort zone and I didn't expect the competition to be so friendly. To be honest, there was a lot of people that reached out right away, and we were all spreading a lot of love very fast. That was completely brand new, did not really understand that at all. So I think the biggest obstacle for me was overcoming the toxicity that was kind of just in my blood from being in the Call of Duty community for so long.
Right. That's I know I don't play Call of Duty. Like, that was one of the things about Call of Duty, I guess, for me, was just like I guess I'm not really deep into it like I see other people. Like, I'll play occasionally. I don't play it as much as I would like to. Like, I bought Warzone, not Warzone, Modern Warfare 3 a bit late. Like, I think around Christmas time, it was like $20 or so. And even then, I was just like, I would play it. I still had fun, but I never had like a team or so to be like, oh yeah, this is like going to be something that I would do often. And because I think the biggest thing was just trying to find my niche. And like, I love, like, don't get me wrong, I love first person shooters. Like, I was a big Halo guy, but one of the biggest things about just being able to you know, I guess just find something that not only I enjoy, but also others as well. And I felt like I was just on an island by myself with that.
Yeah. It definitely took me a long time to find my footing in the Call of Duty community, but I was recognized from one of my YouTube videos pretty early on in my video career. And I got invited to my first team where I made a decent amount of connections. And then I participated in the Obey Alliance recruitment challenge from 2021, I believe. And I made pretty much like all of the connections that I have today in the Call of Duty community are all from that challenge. Some of them branched off and I eventually met more people, but all of the connections I have from like higher positions in SOAR, Ghost, Obey, NorCal, before things went down, Northern Forces, all of those teams are all from Obey Recruitment Challenge 2021 or 2022. Basically what I did is just trying to stand up from the crowd like I did with Respawn Recruits, but I went through every Obey Recruits live stream, and if they were live, no matter what time of the day, I made them an Obey Alliance emote while they were live. And I had like instant upload for my emotes, so I could ask them like, yo, what are your favorite colors? And they would tell me, and I already had a pre-mock-up of the logo and everything, just change the colors really quick. And within 5 minutes, I had the logo in their chat as an emote, and they were like, yo, what the fuck? Like, getting insane reactions from it and everything. And everyone loved the thing, but they weren't like, what are you going to do with a Call of Duty sniping team with somebody who does that? You know what I mean? So I didn't expect to win, but I made a lot of friends, and that's definitely what pushed me here. So,
well, that's pretty good. That is definitely pretty good. Because like, I guess like, and y'all still like kind of tight still.
All the people that I made friends with in the Obey Recruitment Challenge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's how I met Ghost Hoffy, who's now a current Respawn partner. Monster Girl, who I invited to the Invitationals. She's a current Respawn partner now. I met a lot of others that are currently in SOAR, people who are running Obey. I met a few people that were in Ghost. And then there's a lot of like smaller sniping teams around the community that were like bigger at that time. I don't remember all of them off the top of my head right now. 7K is the biggest one I can think of. That's still around, but there were a lot of really solid teams back then, and they were all in bigger positions like recruiting and everything. So I knew a lot of people, but I wasn't really good at sniping, so I didn't get picked up to a lot of teams.
No, that's understandable, but like, yeah. But so side question, is the content creation something you do full time, or do you do something else?
No.
Also, or
yeah, I'm currently in sales. I guess I work at a fucking Walmart. You know, I work overnights. I work long shifts, like 4, 5, 6 days a week, and it's pretty much always a 12-hour shift. So I'm pretty packed up. I don't really have a lot of time that I'm even doing my own content right now. I actually just hired on a couple editors and a designer to do everything for me because I have the funds to throw around for that now. But yeah, it's definitely Not, I was full time as a content creator for like maybe like 4 months, like 3 years ago, but it wasn't the content that was bringing in the money. I was a graphic designer back then, so I was getting a lot of money from that. But yeah, definitely not big enough as of now to be full time. So
Right. So I guess my question is, because I also work full time. So like you probably saw me like freaking, like I literally just got home like
yeah,
at 5 o'clock, and I was just like out for like a bit. So I was like, all right, let me power nap, get myself ready for this. And so like during like, I guess because you had to deal with this while you were doing the challenges too, right?
yeah, I was in a similar position. I was on overnights. I was working definitely 5 days a week at that point because I was in a lower position and I had to come in that much. But I mean, yeah, I was putting out my own content. A lot of the time, I feel like I was pretty well known for just not sleeping through Respawn Recruits. There were nights where I went 48 to 72 hours without sleeping. Um, just living off of like prescription medication that I like genuinely needed. It's not like I was abusing it, but yeah, definitely relying on it to stay awake and be able to just. I don't think a lot of my time was spent editing, but I was definitely keeping my eyes on everyone and seeing how I could always stay one step ahead. So
Right. No, I wouldn't recommend like doing all that.
yeah, definitely
Like,
not.
but like,
No,
yeah,
definitely don't do
like,
that.
because I will admit, because the past couple of weeks, I was actually struggling a bit because like my plan was like, okay, I have my laptop here. I was grateful for week 5. We're having that off week to be able to, take a break and, recollect yourself. The biggest thing that I was doing in the meantime was like, okay, I found my laptop that I had in 2018. For the longest time, it was like, why isn't it working? So one of my coworkers, he figured out that the problem was that my charger was dead. And so I was like, okay, I got to get a charger. However, with a certain amount of time, it was like, okay, Amazon, it was going to take a bit, because things aren't 2 days like they
Yeah.
used to. And then Best Buy was because it was a gaming laptop that I was using for video editing and whatnot. Because the plan was, hey, if I could get this thing up, I was going to be able to work on this for during my breaks at work. I get like 2 15s and a 30, so I was going to like try to edit some of these videos down for that. And so that was the plan. However, I trying to get this charger was $80, and I'm like, I don't have $80 right now.
Yeah.
But luckily I was able to find one for 50. But even then, this again, it's a 2018 laptop. This thing is fairly old, so like I was struggling a little bit to get this thing going. I actually took this thing out to record my recent video with it, and so it was like, yeah, it was a bit of a struggle. But and honestly, I'll admit that I had to like go out, like I pretty much stayed up till like 4 o'clock trying to get this thing running smooth, so that way I didn't have to like cram Monday night from like, well, tonight from like 4 to 6 to get that window done. But like, yeah, I would not recommend doing that. Like,
Yeah, definitely
good,
not. Yeah.
but like I still feel proud of myself because like it wasn't even, it's not a lazy thing, because like it's just you get home, you like, my plans have always been, okay, Monday through Friday, you plan, because there's not a lot of, if I wanted to do something outside, you couldn't because it was dark. So I wanted to make sure that I have a plan Monday to Friday. Saturday, Sunday was shooting day, and did a couple of takes on what I wanted to do. And then, Sunday I had to edit. And I don't know if you saw the video, but it, like, to be able to do like a green screen without a green screen is kind of hard, especially with so like the fact that I was able to like, I had to edit off the laptop, had to edit off the phone. It was like, it was crazy, but like, I'm proud of the result that it came out. I mean, it's not perfect. I mean, I'm not expecting, like, I would love perfection, but I'm like, it's totally, like, I feel like people would get it. So I'm hoping that, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
But, so speaking of the challenges, compared to what you had to do in 2023, and how do you feel about what's going on? Like, have you been able to keep an eye on some of the challenges that, you know, we have to do this season? And what do you feel about that compared to like how you did?
Yeah, let me go ahead and roll through these challenges, see what you guys have. So I think a lot of them have been similar to what we had to go through in 2023 recruits. I think there's cis individual twists on a lot of things. I like do something different we did before, collabing we did before, but later. Never any content story. I think I saw a lot of like original takes on the challenges that we didn't see in 2023. I definitely like the responses that are coming out this year. I think there's a lot of quality content creators, especially those who have made it this far into the competition. There's nobody that is sliding by or getting overlooked. I think the people who are remaining are a serious batch of creators. Not saying those who got eliminated aren't, but I think there's been a lot of people who have either dipped out on their own accord or have maybe gotten sick and they haven't been able to put out like a response to the challenges, and not being able to submit a response for this batch of recruits. It's pretty brutal because everyone is bringing it this year. I like the challenge that just most recently came out. It was it's hashtag ad. Okay. I like the education challenge a lot. There were a lot of really cool things that got brought forward in that one. I haven't seen too many of the responses for the ad yet, but I'm sure that there are a lot of creators who are going to bring their A game that they have every time so far. I honestly don't know what I would have done for a lot of these challenges. I was a lot more creative back then than I am now. I'm creative in a different sense because I'm working with so many companies. But I think that you guys maybe have it even a little more difficult than we had it in 2023.
Right. I know, like, for me personally, I felt like it felt a bit difficult because I don't like talking about it often, but like, you know, I've been doing it for a few years now. It really did progress a lot from, oh, it's just, you know, you just do whatever, just make sure you have the tag in your name and, you know, people will look at you. Now we're actually having to submit videos and do more stuff than streaming, which like a couple years ago I was like, yeah, let me do something besides just stream, because I didn't want to be just that. And every time I try to go above and beyond, like this year I felt like I said in my video, I felt a lot more confident about what I'm doing, because I'll do my streams. I'm actually putting streaming to the side so that way I could work on my videos for the challenge, because I want that to be a priority. I'm not like, I don't have much right now. I'll admit I don't have much of a community that'd be like, oh man, you know, we do have people in the chat here. Midnight, I see you. Hi, how's it going? But like there's no expectations for me to be like, oh, you know, there people are demanding me to stream and stuff like that. So I could go ahead and focus on stuff like these videos because like I think it's actually better to actually do that instead of, you know, just stream every day, because that I'm not sure like I always see stuff about, oh, just stream 3 hours a day, 3 times a week. and that should be like quote unquote the perfect time. And like sometimes I follow that, sometimes I don't, because I'm like, hey, I love interacting with people, and I want to be able to get a chance to, you never know who's going to be out there. So like I always give that. Excuse me. But other than that, like yeah. So this year, I've decided to, hey, let me do this, where I interview the respawner partners and get inside their mind and their process throughout the what they had to do. And I've tried to add that on top of, my regular challenge, and then just, my regular streams. But then this week we had the twist of, now we have another mandatory challenge on top of, the regular challenge. And so at first I was thinking, okay, this is going to make it hard on me because I'm already doing, well, if it's just streaming and then the one video for a lot of people, now it's streaming the one video and then adding the new mandatory, and that has to be tied with the same video. That would be a little bit challenging. And then there's me. And again, everybody's different. Like, I don't know what everyone else is going, like whatever anyone else is having, doing like that. But for my sake, it's, possibly a stream, the video, and having the two videos, and then also doing the Monday Night Respawn, trying to, stay consistent with that. So that way I at least have something like that every week. It in theory would seem overwhelming. Like, I was fortunate enough that I was like, hey, because one of the biggest things that I was struggling with was like, hey, this was like, it took a lot for me, like, to edit the first 3 videos. It literally took most of the week to edit. And so I was like, especially with my laptop, and I was like, this was going to be brutal. It wasn't required. It was just something I put myself into because I was like, yeah, I wanted to make sure that I had something unique. I really thought that this was interesting. I really feel like this was a unique perspective that I don't see a lot of people would do. And like, I feel like this would be something that I think this would be something good to add. And I just wanted to make sure that I stayed focused on, what's important. I mean, it's all important, but I feel like this was like, the way I'm doing it now is like, hey, I don't need to necessarily record this and try to edit this all the way up to the week. I could just do a live video and, have you on, and whoever I have next week and the week after that, and just go from there. So that way I could spend more time focused on the mandatory task, and then also, show out for my community as well.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I really feel like, it's been a good change. What do you think about all this so far?
As far as like your regime with everything?
I guess I can ask guess I can ask her your opinion.
Yeah, so I think we're in a pretty similar situation because I was doing the weekly podcasts for Recruits 2023, and that was content outside of the challenges that was kind of expected out of us. I think it became big enough to where a fair percentage of the recruits were watching. I know Tyler was watching every week. The partners are watching every week. The advantage that I had compared to you is that Shmoog and I alternated editing the podcasts. So we could record like a week in advance and both have an episode readily available to post at our scheduled time each week. I think everything you have going on right now, I think you have the right mindset for everything. My biggest thing is that streaming isn't even really important. I haven't been streaming now for over 2 years, and my community is stronger than it's ever been. I think streaming cutting out streaming entirely is more beneficial to you than spotty streaming, because spotty streaming is just going to leave your community you build on the streaming side with a sour taste in their mouth. If you're streaming like once, maybe like I'll maybe be live this week, I don't know yet. It leaves kind of a questionable taste. Is this someone that I can consistently support if they can't consistently be around? Whereas if you cut out that worrying about streaming 3 hours a day, 3 days a week, that's 9 extra hours if you have it available for you to script your next video, record your next video, do a little bit more in depth, give yourself more time to edit so you can get it closer to perfect that you want for your next video kind of thing. Make sure that you're planning out your timelines. I meticulously plan everything I do for every single video I put out right now. I have a full script. When I'm sitting down, I'm playing Call of Duty, I say, okay, I have an hour and a half to hit something crazy, or this video is not going to come out the way that it needs to. I give myself a script of something to talk about because I storyboard my Call of Duty content in case I don't hit anything. I give myself options on if something happens, then I have option A. If this happens, say this. If this happens, say this. So I always have an out, and I'm not sitting there flustered on what I need to say. With my podcast, I have 20 questions that are kind of listed out, so I know what I'm going to say. But if they give a response, then I have sub-questions to every single one of those questions. So I am very meticulous and plan out everything that I do most of the time at work, because I'm working 12 to 15 hours a night, at least 4 days a week. And then when I get home, I'm like laying down, eating for like 2 hours, pretty much planning anytime I have between then, still spending time with my significant other, because I can't just neglect them because I want to do content, So, right. As far as your plan, man, I think everything is going well. I just don't want to see you stress yourself out and go through burnout, because after Recruits 2023, when I was disqualified and all of the work that I put in kind of amounted to nothing, and even when I got partnered afterwards, I was in a burnout for 14 months. I didn't upload a single thing. I still haven't streamed. I planned out a lot of things. I got a lot of things recorded, edited fully, watched through it. I was like, fucking hate it. And I deleted it. I deleted so many things because I didn't think that anything I did was good enough anymore. And you just gotta have a lot of faith in yourself. I think you've improved every year that I've seen you compete. I've seen you compete for 3 years now. And I know you've been competing at least since Austin was competing. So I know you've been around in the recruits competition for a while. I believe 2023 was your highest placing so far, right?
23, 24, like I was back-to-back top 50.
So, yeah, perfect. And then, so I don't know if it's going 50 to 25 again this year. I don't really know what the rankings are going to be. I haven't been as tapped in as I would like to be as a former recruit, but I think you have a lot of potential. I always have thought you've had a lot of potential. I've been supporting you for a while. If you ever need help with anything, let me know, so
I appreciate it. Cause like the craziest thing that my plan was actually, the next couple of people that I was going to interview was like the people that I was vouching for. Like I was going to try to hit up Hydrated and then you, because like the people that I saw, that if I wasn't going to be a partner, I need to make sure that these these guys were, because like I see you on Twitter and every time I see you, you always had some, like, I don't think I have my notifications on for you, but I would just see your posts and it was like, you had so much hype and energy around you. And I was like, this is the kind of energy I need in my life. This is the kind of energy that I want to be able to have, to be able to, so that way I can have that kind of outreach. And I try to emulate that as much as I can. And then, but at the same time, I'm sitting here, hey guys, let's have a great day. But like, I'm working on that reach, but at the same time, I'm not letting it, like it'll get to me sometimes, but at the same time it's like, hey, it's like I say at the end of every video, have a good day and a better tomorrow. Like, so I may not have the best day, but we got a better tomorrow coming up. We're going to try to go ahead and do something towards that. So like, today was rough, but tomorrow, we we've already completed our task. I'm really proud of myself for like, you know, being able to clutch up on this. I really hope that whatever comes Tuesday, 5 o'clock, you know, I'm pretty confident in the video I had, because I thought the way this challenge was spotted is like, okay, you have to do an ad, but the extra mandatory task was to talk about your experience with the Respawn recruits. And I know people just went and took the ad, and then, you know, probably, I didn't see everyone's video, but I saw like pretty much it was like, okay, this is 2 different videos, right?
But it's all in one, yeah.
Right. So the way that my brain worked on it, it was like, okay, this is an ad, right? But then there's also another video. And I was like, what if I made this like TV, where, you know, like, because like most of my stuff right now is basically sports themed. Like I'm in a, like, this was supposed to be like, before they changed it for Netflix, this was supposed to be like the, you know, the referee for like, you know, wrestling. And so like that was the kind of energy I was trying to, you know, get on for this year. And then where was I at? So pretty much I was interviewing myself like during this vid, and then like at the time where it's like, okay, the interview's done, let's cut to commercial. Boom. So
so I see.
So like I hope that I know people will be like, well, if you have to explain it, then I mean it doesn't,
right?
Like I feel like I hate that, because like
I mean, based on the way that you explained it, I feel like it would speak for itself pretty well. I don't think there's any explanation really needed to be given. If people understand the challenge, like it makes sense in my head.
Right.
Being able to talk about someone interviewing you about your experience with Respawn so far, and then there's an ad embedded in the video. So I think it meets all the challenge parameters. I haven't watched it yet, as I usually watch it on Monday nights, and Tuesday nights is usually when I catch up on all the Respawn videos and support everyone. But if it gives you any more confidence, I'm gonna dial back a little bit to when you were saying that you feel like you're talking to a wall a lot of the time. Before Respawn recruits, I didn't have the community I have now. I had 210 followers, like exactly before I started Respawn recruits. I finished Respawn recruits with over 1,300. Like my entire community came from recruits. It came from meeting you guys, like getting in one-on-one conversations. I DM'd all top 150 in Respawn Recruits 2023, and I fostered friendships with a lot of them. That's where a lot of my time went when I wasn't sleeping for all those hours every night. I was talking to everybody. It's how I got super close with like Sif, Titan, Kate, Kinetic, Court, like all of the people that were like my tight little circle that were the people who were fighting for me when I went through things, the people who were supporting each other. Like when it was people reacting to seeing their names in the list, a lot of those reactions were like, oh my God, I made it. Oh my God, FROSTII made it too. Like there were a lot of people every week, so like vouching for me. Like my community came from Respawn recruits 100%. And through that grew farther, because the sniping community sees someone who's being successful, they latch onto them. So I got a lot more support from the sniping community, and then my podcast started doing pretty big numbers. I had a couple viral TikToks during recruits that got over like 10 million views. I got partnered with Glitch. I have the Glitch family behind my back right now with my own flavor and new shit coming every week. And Space Panda is a great fucking community. I had Gamer Advantage and Clutch One on my back too. Like I had so much momentum, but all of it started with Respawn recruits. So if you stay consistent and you find your people that are going to support you as hard as you support them, you can build a massive fucking community and literally blow up in 10 weeks.
Right. And that's what I'm trying to get more into. Like I guess the main problem I'm having right now is just like, okay, I feel like, not to be like, oh, I'm only concerned about myself. Like don't get me wrong. I love hanging out with the Respawn people in Discord. It's just I think the one of my biggest downsides right now is I'm just not able to like reach out as much as I would love to, because just the way like most of the work that I do is pretty hands on, but not trying to make any excuses. Just trying to find more time to be able to be like, hey, let me go sit and hang out in the Discords and whatnot. And so like I think that's like the next coming up weeks. I don't know what the challenges are, but I know that as more as I see that I have more time to play with, because like no matter what, like if I see somebody that I want to be able to hang out with, like I'll bend time for them. As they're available, hey, I'll be available. Like I'm not really doing much after a certain amount of time, but like yeah, that's going to be the biggest thing that I'm going to try to do, is because I want to be able to hang out more in Discords and stuff like that, because there's a community right there. I already know when I was there, we was talking, like we had a bunch of people talking about wrestling. I'm up, as soon as we get done with this we're probably going to go talk about what happened this weekend and what's happening on Netflix tonight. So like there's a lot of like stuff that I already know there's people out there that we can mesh with. So I'm really looking forward to that. And yeah, that's pretty much the biggest thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you, man. As far as like getting into the calls, like when it came to 2023 recruits, if you can remember vividly enough that far back, how often did you see me everywhere? Like pretty much every day of recruits. Is that a fair statement to say?
I think pretty much like I don't have my notifications on Discord, but even then it was like I still was like I still see that little snowflake there, and I'm like, yeah, that's
And I was in before collaboration week. I did one collaboration. As far as calls, the only calls I was in for maybe like 10 minutes right before the announcements were made, and I stayed for maybe like 5 minutes afterward, and I was like, sorry guys, gotta go. Outside of that, I was in one heirs to the chair call. I didn't really, I was never in like voice with people. Like even if I was sitting at my computer and I had nothing going on, everything was facilitated through message, because I wanted everything to be, I wanted to know everything that was going on. And I didn't need to be in the calls in order to know what was going on, because everyone likes to post on Twitter about what's going on afterwards. If there was anything that needed to be known, like I knew if something was coming from someone, I knew about it through one of the people that I got super close with, because Titan and Kate love to be in those calls. But I didn't need to be in a call in order to get all of the information that Titan and Kate got, because they would tell me afterwards if anything cool was going on that maybe I should like look into being a part of or reach out to anybody. And I wasn't afraid to reach out to anybody if I felt like there was something I needed to know. Yeah, I don't think you need to. I mean, obviously showing your face in calls and like making connections with everyone is like super cool, but you don't have to be in the call to make the same connections as you do by supporting people's content, genuinely supporting. Because a lot of people, when I say support each other, they just vouch each other on each other's posts. Maybe they go like a couple of their other posts on Twitter. I genuinely sat in people's live streams and I sat there for hours at a time, kept multiple tabs up. I was watching people's videos. I was giving feedback. I was helping people improve. Like I wasn't being a wall. Even though I was another number in their stream, I wasn't just being like nothing to them. I was helping them improve themselves, give them their boost and self-satisfaction of being a genuine viewer that was genuinely enjoying their content. And through that is how I made so many genuine friendships that people could rely on me for so many things.
Right. Well, I appreciate that. Now, we got a couple more minutes left. Shoot. Do you have anything else that you probably want to give advice for? Again, tomorrow's, cut day for a lot of people. I already told myself, like whatever happens, like I told myself I wasn't going to worry about, whether or not I'm going to be top 50 or top 75. I'm just going to, worry about day by day, week by week. Any last bits of advice?
Yeah, for sure. I can give a couple. Obviously, there's all the generic, like, just keep doing what you're doing. And like, Respawn's always watching is like a big one.
Right.
I'm going to step a little outside. I'll give 3 separate points, I think. I never had the experience of getting cut because I made it through to the top 10. My experience is going to be a little bit different from pretty much everyone else's probably ever in Respawn Recruits. There's maybe like a few other people that have had the experience that I've had, if that. Getting as far as I made it and then not technically getting cut is a very special scenario. So I can't really imagine what the cut process is like for a lot of you guys. But I can say that through the experience of others that got cut, it is a punch in the gut. I know that it won't feel good. It didn't feel good when my situation went down either, but it hurts. It hurt way more for me when people around me were getting cut that I felt wanted it so fucking bad, because I didn't go into recruits expecting to get partnered anyways. If you're going into recruits expecting to be partnered, you're already doing it for the wrong reasons. You should be going into recruits using it as an opportunity to facilitate friendships, meet new people, get outside of the community that you're currently in, try and make new connections is the biggest thing that you can possibly get out of recruits, because there's not a single competition out there. No other recruitment challenge will give you this many facets of content in it. Like, teams can host recruitment challenges, but Obey is based in Call of Duty sniping. So like, everyone around it is going to be doing Call of Duty. You'll have like maybe 10 select creators. Out of the 200 plus that were in this, like, I could have named more than 10 people that were playing like the same game as their main source of content. No other group does that like Respawn. So yeah, I think you'll be a lot less upset if you are cut, if you don't go into this expecting to get partnered. Just go into it expecting to make new friends, and you already fucking won. The next piece of advice that I'll give is the best way to make sure that you have the best opportunity to move on, I guess, in the challenge for myself was always, how can I be seen the most? There were, I'm going to give some behind the scenes shit. There were 2 weeks towards the end of the competition in 2023 recruits. I didn't even submit videos to the drive because I didn't have to, because I knew they got seen, because there was so much viewing going on from it that I knew the partners were commenting on my videos already. The partners were already talking about it because they were saying like select partners that are still with Respawn and aren't with Respawn were saying that they were expecting my videos and they were looking forward to seeing my videos and like telling me how good I did with my videos. So I know Tyler saw it. So I didn't have, it's not that I didn't have to, because everyone should is the mandatory thing. And it's not that I chose not to, but I was like you, working full-time hours, getting home, had a couple hours to work on it. And most of the time when I was editing the final response, I passed out in my chair. Like, I wasn't just being an egotistical prick and like, oh, I don't have to do this, I'm not submitting it. Like, it was, I was
like, you'll see this thing because, yeah.
That's just what it was. But the biggest advice that I can possibly give for this challenge, be seen. And the best way to be seen is be original. Doing the same thing that everybody else is doing is only going to get you love from your community because their community is seeing it. So they're going to only watch the person who they've been comfortable seeing it. If you're doing what someone else is doing and you take it a little bit further, they're going to be, oh, how did they take it a step further? Now I'm curious. And you don't answer the question of why they're curious right away. If you're doing a video, you have to leave curiosity in it so that you make them watch the full video. That's what Shmoog and I were so good with in the podcast, is we teased a little bit at the beginning and they're like, oh, what got that kind of reaction? And even though we only had 100, 200 views on our podcast episodes, we had 400 hours watch time on multiple of those videos. So you have to be really good at making people question what's going to come next without turning them away within the first 5 minutes. I had another piece of advice, but I think I kind of covered it with the second piece of advice. The biggest thing, I guess, for the third thing I can say is, it's the biggest thing that I preach with Respawn Recruits is that this entire competition is literally your job application as a content creator. Through Respawn Recruits, I got partnered with 6 other companies and affiliated with 4 more. I have discount codes. I have my own flavor with Glitch Energy because of Respawn Recruits. I like getting advertisements made with my reactions in it from game companies. I've had companies reach out to me that just don't fit my agenda and everything. But all of the hype came from Respawn Recruits, because even when I got cut, my video of me getting like disqualified or whatever, me talking about the situation and being open about everything that happened and how I was in the wrong and me accepting my responsibility, got 250,000 views. And companies saw that. Teams saw that, and it wasn't a negative thing. So not having pity about the entire thing, gave myself brownie points from other people, and other people wanted to work with me. They were like, oh, it's like Respawn's loss was like a comment that I saw a lot. Respawn's loss, we would love to have you. And that's how I fostered the company that I have now in my arsenal. And Respawn saw that I wasn't backing down and using that as like a pity thing and whatever. So I used it and I kept growing for that little amount of time before I was eventually partnered, and they invited me to be a partner. So even the company that didn't see me fit at that time realized that I was still working on myself and trying to better myself. And I wanted to improve the impression of the sour taste that I left in people's mouth regarding me. And I was able to restore that reputation. So using recruits to better the idea of yourself from other people, using it as quite literally a job application to improve yourself, is the best way that you can go about this competition. Because the second that you get sour, you get upset at anybody in the competition or an event that's hosted in Respawn Recruits, like the Marvel Rivals tournament, or I think Red just hosted a Valorant tournament. Being sour about how those results turn out for such little things that are about community building, being upset about the results if you win or lose, is going to turn people off immediately. You have to be so likable, so friendly in this space as a content creator, and really know how to utilize all of the connections that you make so you can foster them into something better.
Well said. Well said. I really do appreciate that, because I know, like, again, I'm still working on, like, even though I'm doing this now, there's still a lot of things that I'm trying to get the ball rolling on so that way I can do better. Like doing these interviews, like one-on-one like this live. This is, again, I feel a little bit rusty doing this live, but next week, it's a whole new week. Gonna try it again. There's a lot more stuff that I know that I really feel like I'm going to be constantly working on. I'm going to be thinking, like, I know I'm going to be thinking about this tonight, and just being able to be more involved is like something that is on my to-do, like that's been on my to-do list, is just finding the I guess a good rhythm to where I can do that is really important for me, because like, again, community is like a big thing. And like you said earlier, as much as, I love to be a partner, like when Respawn was headquarters in North Carolina, like when I first started, I was like, oh, cool. It would be so cool to, have somebody here from the home team and whatnot. Like I was thinking so much about like, oh, how cool it would be. And I see all like the other partners, how it opened up more opportunities for them. And I was like, I can't wait for that to be me. But at the same time, I was like, I can make that myself if, you know, I put some time and effort into it and think about like what to do. And like you said, it's a job application. And so I gotta, you know, pretty much, what do I bring to the table?
Yeah.
And so that's the big thing that I'm like, I've been constantly thinking about the past few years, is like, what can I bring to the table? So that way, not just for, you know, a partnership, but like just in life. Cause like,
Yeah.
I always want to, like, I'm 28 now. I've been streaming for 5 years. I mean, again, this is all just numbers, and like numbers really don't matter. It's just that I know I have goals, and I've the past 3 years I've been like, okay, what can I do to move this step further? Because I always thought of streaming as a stepping stone to go on to other things. Because there's like I wanted to do stuff beyond streaming, and so that's one of the biggest things that I'm like, doing this stuff right here, I feel like is a good start to like get that ball rolling. And thank you so much for like for everything, like the past few years, like freaking like you're one of the few people that I'm actually like been like, because I already vouched for you before, and I was like, yeah, like if you didn't get partner, like I don't know what was gonna happen. I was like, man, and then what happened, and then pretty much the character development of like the whole 9 yards is like, this is probably one of the, like, you hate to see it, but at the same time, it's like a true like redemption arc. It's like it words can't just, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like, it's just like that's like the kind of energy that I need to be like, hey, just keep going. Do not let any of this like there was times where, like, you know, when I got cut before, I kept my composure a little bit, and it was just like, man, I'm like, I keep being this close. And, you know, I had intrusive thoughts telling me, it's like, man, if I get cut now after being top 50 twice, I was like, oh crap, what did I, like, I must have messed up somewhere. And like, granted, I can still have those feelings, but like, I'm not like, you don't, like, I don't think I've ever like had such like I don't think I throw a tantrum about it. Like, I'm actually pretty quiet and reserved.
I would agree with that.
Like, I like, even when I do move on, I don't make a big fanfare about it, because I'm like, okay, on to the next, trying to get that mama mentality of like, okay, just focus on, you know,
but it's okay to hype yourself. It's okay to hype yourself. It doesn't make you look like an asshole if you're like celebrating your wins. You celebrate your wins, you mourn your losses, but either way, you get back on your feet and you get back to fucking work. Like, it doesn't matter if you know, everybody was posting a video saying, hey, I moved on. Like, and some people were posting videos when they didn't move on. And like, people are upset, or people are excited that they move on and they don't move on. But it's not about showing off that you moved on. You know what I mean? It's more about showing your excitement for the brand, especially by a product promoted like event like this. Like, it's you showing your love and your respect and your appreciation for Respawn, for noticing you, for showing that you should be able to get far enough, like everything like that. It's about showing who you are, because eventually some of these people that make it are going to be the next 10 partners of Respawn. Some of you guys are going to be the faces on like the Respawn website, repping the merch. Like, you're going to be in the advertisements for Respawn. Like, that is what a partner is. You are the face of the company. So it's okay to show your face, show your successes, show your confidence in working with this brand. It's not being an asshole. If, man, it's going to sound rough, but everybody signed up like knowing what they signed up for. Like, it's a competition. They knew only 10 people are going to make it. It still fucking like sucks like a motherfucker when you get cut. But I'm going to be brutally honest that not many people. I'm going to rephrase the way I'm about to say this. However bad it is, no matter what level you got cut at, it can always be worse because I fucking got the worst thing you could fucking get. I was supposed to be that 10th partner. I was there. I made it all the fucking way. But my ego got in the fucking way. And I like ruined that shit myself. But that situation still is going to be very fucking difficult to top for how hard it can really be when you get cut. You can always feel like you should have made it one step further. And I'm going to alter a lot of your fucking perceptions right now. It's not about what could I have done more. It's not about what did I do wrong. Because 90% of the time, you probably didn't do shit wrong. You are doing everything right now. You are conforming your life to this competition as much as you possibly can. So what else can you do? It's not about what else can you, or it's not about what did you do wrong. It's about what 10 other people are doing right. You know, it's not always fair what life can bring, because if you're working as many hours as you possibly can, you're busting your fucking ass day in and day out. You're bringing your laptop to work. You're showing every fucking skill that you possibly possess. Sometimes just doing that, and I'm being brutally fucking honest, sometimes just doing that isn't enough. Sometimes you have to say how much you're doing. You have to showcase, hey, I brought my laptop to work. Like, have a fucking camera on you at work in the office saying, I was editing this at work on my fucking breaks. Like, this is how bad I want it. Show how bad you want it, Fretty. I know how bad you fucking want this shit. Right. You've been going for it so many fucking years. But you don't show how much work you put in, because all the work you put in goes silent because you're so goddamn humble. Have a little, like, be fucking proud of how hard you work, dude. I know how hard you bust your ass.
So I'm going to turn heel like John Cena now because of what you said.
All right, do it. Like I want to see it. Whether you do or do not make it in this cut, I want to see you take it fucking 10 fucking fold. Like, it doesn't matter if you're in a Respawn Recruits competition. You can still hold yourself to this 1 week accountability, trying a new skill, trying everything like that, because 99% of fucking creators out there have no idea about this fucking competition. Right. So if they just happen to come up and see one of your videos as a response to one of these challenges, they're like, I didn't even know he was getting challenged, but this is a really fucking sick video. So just keep giving yourself challenges. Ask people to give you like random challenges. You can go to content creators. You can challenge yourself to ask better like questions in interviews. You can challenge yourself to be like, hey guys, I'm wondering, even if you don't get replies, I'm fucking guilty of it. I faked replies in a fucking video at a Q&A to like try and get good content out of me. You can still tell a story. You don't need people to ask, like, only answer questions like, oh, what's your favorite skin in Fortnite? Like, that's not going to give you any fucking content. So I made a couple fake accounts on YouTube and fucking commented on my own video and got questions that gave valid answers. And people loved the fucking video. It got like 500, 600 fucking views on it. No negative fucking comments on anything. People were like, oh, that's a fake ass comment. Like, nobody cared because the answers that I was giving was genuine. I was passionate about what I was saying. And I showed, like, there was a lot of times when I was seen on Twitter every fucking day, at least 8 tweets a day. Like, I was always coming up. I was on a lot of people's fucking timelines all the fucking time. How many videos did you see from me? Like, I didn't post that many videos. It was all posts.
Right.
And it's, people knew the grind I was putting in because of how much I was on the timeline, even though realistically I scheduled all of those tweets in like 2 days. So I could just be off not posting for 5 days. I could be checking everyone else out, checking out their streams, checking out their videos, being active in the community, showing that I give a shit in other ways. So you can be everywhere at once with content creation. It really is a fantastic fucking thing. But if you bust your ass the way that you bust your ass and to the level that you give a shit about this company, you need to show it. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Is there anything that I could like clarify on that to
No, like I think you nailed it on the head because like freaking, I mean, what else I gotta do? Like, I mean, I know one thing I want to do is get better at social media because Twitter, like I'll make posts, like I don't know how many posts I made today, but I know there's specific times and stuff, and I'm like, I'm just being me, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So like I know I had some moments where I thought was pretty like the past couple of years when I got cut. I did the, you know how sports be like eliminated and whatever. I thought that was hilarious. I don't know how many people saw that or whatever. You know, I guess I need to like, I guess I need to do more. I mean, I literally made, where is it at? This patch.
Yeah.
I made like even before like last year when I said, hey, I wasn't going to enter last year when I made the video in December and I had this up here. Like I don't even know how to explain it. I just know that at some point I'm going to have to start like, I guess not that I'm not doing more already, but I'm about to like at this point of the competition, like I feel like I'm gonna have to be more annoying than like when I first found out about the Respawn products. I think literally all I was doing was singing auto tune like bogusness about, you know, just I don't know if anyone remembers that.
Is that you, the singing and autotune and everything? Is that like truly, honestly, unapologetically you?
I was honestly, it kind of was because
you got to do what's you, man. You're like, I
don't know if that's me now, but like I don't know if that's me now, but like you might see a little bit more stuff or like that again because like I know when the story on that too, I was in AIT and like we was just goofing around in our barracks and we like there was a setting on there that sound like a intercom. We was like shoot, hello student company, please wear your iPro, blah blah blah. Dude. It was almost like what was it? Was it Police Academy with Bill Murray? Yeah, I was trying to get like on my Michael Winslow type energy. So yeah, we're just gonna be like I feel like I'm gonna like go deep in like soon I'm gonna start going deep in my bag to try to figure out like what else I have to do. Cause like right now I feel like I'm doing fine, but like I'm still looking and I'm like, I need to do more. I need to do more.
Yeah.
I need to.
Yes.
Can you see me now? You know what I'm saying? So
Content
I'm like,
creation is like
I gotta be like Fred.
I don't know about that one, but content
the annoying orange.
Like I don't know about that one either, man. I mean, maybe if you want to go viral, you can post stuff like that. But I mean, you aren't going to build a great community off of it. But
no,
you man, I'll be happy with you. Content creation really is like the perfect fucking balancing act of what makes you happy, what makes you comfortable, what makes you want to do more, and what people are going to want to see out of you. Because if you can find that perfect fucking balance point, that's how you stay, like, you don't burn out. That's how your audience grows, the loyalty from your audience grows, everything like that. There's a lot of things that I could talk about for fucking hours, but I'm going to say one more thing to alter the perception of a lot of people that are just kind of, I think a lot of people are coming out of their comfort zone in this competition, but I think a lot of people are still staying comfortable. So I'm going to say this because uncomfortability is the best fucking thing you can be as a content creator. You can uncomfortable is comfortable. You should be comfortable being uncomfortable. You should always be able to do something that isn't your niche. So I'm going to say this as probably my last like big point before I have to head out here. Think about what the partners do. as their main niche, what are they known for, that kind of thing. A lot of the a lot of the partners of Respawn right now probably don't average more than like 10, 12 viewers when they're live. They don't get more than like maybe 50, 100 views on their videos, 200, 300 views on their shorts. Like I would say 90 to 95% of us are pretty small content creators. But think about it from the perspective of Respawn, because there's no more than like 3 partners who would consider their main niche like Call of Duty, consider their main niche like Valorant, Fortnite. A lot of us cross over and play those other games and everything, do a lot of different styles, but like there's a reason that Bugsy came up in so many conversations when he was a partner, because he was the only fighting games content creator we had. So you have to kind of flip it on a switch where you have to think about not so much what do I want to do, what does my community want to see, that kind of thing. You have to think, what do companies, in this case Respawn, want to see out of me that they don't already have? You don't have to do something so outlandish that it's like, I don't enjoy this shit. But I was the most confident fucking podcaster in 2023 recruits alongside Schmoogly. I know that I brought my creativity in waves that like a lot of people can't even think of the things that I'm like ready to do, kind of thing. In Respawn Recruits 2023, I'm a little fucking older now and slower and shit, but I mean, it's the mind still moves. I will die on the hill that I am a very fucking creative content creator, and I bring that so fucking hard for Respawn. So what can you bring that isn't already a standard that Respawn is going to post on their socials when they are promoting their TikTok and they want their partners to be sitting in a Respawn chair? What can you do that's going to be different? That's what they want to know. Because if they just have 40 fucking partners all posting Fortnite content and like, yeah, I just won the game, and it's all the same fucking reaction, all sitting in a chair, like anyone who wants to tap into Respawn is like, okay, so I have to want to play Fortnite in order to be a Respawn partner? Like, they aren't going to want that. So find a new niche, be comfortable being uncomfortable, be willing to do more and just stand out and just be fucking different, man. Always take it to the next step. Don't ever settle. You can always do more. Even if you think your editing is fucking peak fucking quality, your commentary is probably ass, or your editing is probably ass, or your scripting is probably ass. Like, you could do more. Your thumbnails are probably shit. Like, nobody is the best at fucking everything. I watch some of the biggest content creators in the world and say, I could have did that part better. Like, right. It's nobody is perfect. So just keep refining your skills, refining your talent. If you just settle on fucking like what you think is 100% and you don't push yourself to learn another 10%, there's so many times where I was doing Photoshop or Premiere or After Effects and I was like, I feel pretty confident that I know everything about this. And then I watched a video on something I didn't know nothing about. I would say like before Recruits 2023, I was like, yeah, I'm at like an 80%. I know so much about Photoshop. I'm so good at this. By the time that I like started trying to learn more and dive in, right now I think I'm at like a 15. And it's not because I lost my knowledge. I have more knowledge now than I had then, but I didn't know how much I could have done. Like, you just keep progressing your knowledge and then you'll always have more to do. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I know like one of the biggest things I'm working right now is like trying to get my audio better. Cause like first it was like, okay, get a video out. Now it's like, all right, let me get audio. That's why I made so much upgrades towards getting that better. But like, yeah, definitely you're right on the head on that. Like always, like there's always time for learning and stuff like that. So that's a big thing. And honestly, I understand you got to go. Thank you so much, Frosty, for everything. I really do appreciate you so much. Thank you for being the first person for Monday Night Respawn Live. Yeah, it really means a lot.
Thanks for bringing me, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, being able to do this live was a cool experience. I've been a part of a few podcasts in the past, and a lot of my answers get cut for whatever reason, but I'm excited to see the other episodes of this as well. I didn't even really know that you had this going on, which is kind of my bad, but I'm excited to look at Bam, and who else did I see that you've done this with? Breadman, and there was one other one, I think.
I did one with Rabbit, and then I did like a 30 for 30 spin-off.
I saw that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited to look at the rest of these. I'm excited to see the future people you bring on for live and everything, and see how their answers are different from mine and what we share the same ideas with and all that. So
yeah. Well, hey, thank you so much. And I also want to thank the audience out here who's watching this live. If you're watching this on VOD too, thank you so much. And as always, with Frosty here, I'm Fretty J. Y'all have a good day and a better tomorrow. Until next time.
Have a better tomorrow.
We'll see you.
Peace out, guys.
All right.